Well, good afternoon and welcome to Ed's Orchids. Now, as you can see in front of you, I've got a lot of small paths here and I haven't checked them for a bit, so I want to check out, see how the roots are growing. I don't think they're doing very well for some reason, although I'm feeding them properly. So we'll just have a look at them. I have ordered some stuff that's supposed to be very good for seedlings and things like that, but I won't divulge what it is just yet, so we'll see if it works. But I won't be getting this stuff until the end of this week or beginning of next week, so I'll start applying it then, and if it works I'll let you know what it is. First plant I'd like you to have a look at is this Paphiopedilum philippinense, and it's about 6 months or even more that I put it in one of these tall pots for the frags, see if it would take, but it's not doing a lot. It's just putting up one new little leaf growth there, but not doing much at all. So I just want to see what's going down at the bottom here. I might repot it in a much smaller and a clearer pot, but we'll see what it's like under here first. Well, the roots seem fine. They're all hard, but no new growth showing on them. So I wonder if I just trim the roots there, put it in a much smaller pot, that it'll improve its growth rate. Could do. Anyway, we'll have a look at these roots, see if they're all live, because well, look at the length of that one. I don't know. They are all live. A little bit dry. I must have been keeping it a little bit too dry. There's new roots coming out there. There's new roots starting there. No new growth, so yeah, we'll just tidy the roots up a little bit, just give them a little bit of a trim, and then I think I'll put it up in a smaller pot. Yeah, they're all nice and green inside. Excuse me. Yeah, all lovely and green inside, so I've no need to bother about the growth on these roots. Absolutely lovely. Just the dead one there. Right. That's better. Right. What I think I'll do, I think I'll put it back into the same pot. And although the bark here is quite damp, the roots are dry. So what should I add to it? I don't know. Let me think. I'll add to it a little bit of, there's no growth stones in here, it's just bark, so I'll add some too. That'll help it to hold a little bit more water. And then we'll put it back up again. So we'll try and get this in at the right depth, which is about right there. then we'll give it a good watering afterwards with, put some calcium in, put some magnesium in, and we'll put some liquid seaweed in. These roots are very dry, and that's probably the reason why they're not showing any new growth. And these are notoriously slow growers though, and these are the sorts of plants when they do start producing new growths, it could take up to 2 years for them to provide the new growth with roots. So we'll get this sorted out in here, and then we'll have a look at some more smaller ones, just to see how they're going on, because they haven't been looked at for well over 6 months. There we are. Paphiopedilum philippinense, super. Another two Paphiopedilums, this one here being a multifloral, only a small one, which is a cross between Michael Kupovitz, Rothschildianum and Anitum, and it's Paphiopedilum Shinyi's Pride. Now I had quite a big plant of this, and it died off, but it put this little growth up, and this has been in here ever since. I think the pot might be a little too small for it, so we'll go and have a look at that in a minute. And the other one is another one that's a Paphiopedilum, and that's another one that is from a growth of the mother plant. So we'll take them out and have a quick look at them. This doesn't look like it's bedded in. No, look at that. It's got some hard roots in and some soft ones. Really bad roots. Dear, dear. So I'll just trim these bad roots off, although it's putting a new growth up in the middle. How it can do that with no roots, I've no idea. I'll take all the bad ones off, and I don't think it's going to have many left. So I'm going to wait till that elixir comes next week, and by the end of this week, and hope that pulls these plants round. There's signs of a little new growth at the side of it, but that doesn't make these roots any better. We'll just put that at one side. And we'll have a look at this one, this Diana. Now this has been in a little moss, and once again it's not over damp, but the roots are hard. Just few of them, but they're hard. So I have a little bit of moss outside, so you see there's not much for it to grow in there, is there? And I don't like these really tiny pots, although they should be alright at this size of a plant. Anyhow, we'll change the Do I need to change the bark? No. No, I need some tree fern bark to it. So I'm just hoping that'll hold a little bit more moisture. I'll put a few more grow stones in. And I might as well pot them up in the same pots. I'll water these in. I'll water these in with some seaweed, liquid seaweed, and we'll see where they go from there. Get the right label in, and then we've got this dianum. These dianums not awfully difficult to grow once you get them to a certain size. Well, that's like all the Paphiopedilums. Once you get them to a certain size, you've cracked it, until they flower and die off again. It looks like I've got about 20 up there like this, so and I'm feeding them and I'm watering them quite well, but we've just had this hot weather and it seems like it's dried everything out far too quickly. I think the only thing that's benefited for a cold day today will be the Masdevallias, because they've been subject to very warm temperatures of late. It's nice and cool in here. It's only about 19 in the greenhouse, could be 20. So we'll put them on one side and we'll water them in a minute. Now here we have another Paphiopedilum, which is Paphiopedilum Magic Lantern. It's been stood in there for 8 or 9 months and hasn't moved at all. So we'll have a look at this one. This might be overpotted. Oh, this is quite damp. And it's got 2 new root growths on it. And also I've just noticed, look underneath, can you see that there? That white mealybug. So we'll give that a spray. Oops. Yep, I'll just spray this under the leaves on the mealybug. It'll kill the mealybug on contact. That's it. That will get rid of that. There was only 3 mealybugs on, I think, but we'll wipe them off now. Yep, that's it. But it's surprising. Mealybugs always go where you can't find them. Right. But you see, that's growing, but I would like it in a smaller pot if I could find one. Well, I found a little bit smaller pot for this magic lantern, so I'll put it in that one. All new gravel. What else should we put in with it? Well, we've got some tree fern in with it, and we've got some new gravel, some grow stones, and we'll put this one up. This is the old bark in with it as well, because that's nice and damp. Now we've got rid of the mealy bugs on this one, and I think that'll sit much nicer in that pot. And hopefully these won't need touching for a few months now. Give it the same feed as some liquid seaweed. Bit of calcium. Calcium for the bones. And that should be fine if I can get it in firm enough. Yep, that's perfect. That's another one to water, so that's 4 of them. Well, I put a little bit of calcium nitrate in that jug, and that just wants some boiling water on. Then we've got some Epsom salts and some maxi crop liquid seaweed, and that's all we'll put in. So I'll put a dash of the seaweed in, so we'll just mix all this together and we'll see what the TDS is. Well, I've mixed it all up and the TDS is at 261, so that'll do for me. And talking about the pH, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some of the pH reader, which could take quarter of an hour to give me the right results. I'm going to test it to begin with, and then I'm going to soak it in this, or stand it in this liquid for, well, until I've watered the plants, and then we'll see what it reads then. Well, when I put the TDS meter in, it registered 7.98. It's now down at 7.52. Temperature of the water is 25.7. So we'll just leave it in there and see what it measures after I've watered the plants. Well, we'll just water these that we've just repotted. That's the, what is it? Shinyi's Pride. Let's hope that does well. This is Dianum. You see how quickly it goes through the bottom. That's with having a, what they call a light medium. And the magic lantern. I've got my 3 orangus to water. I did them a little bit early this morning, so I'll do them again just to make sure they're nice and moist. There's a bit on the leaves as well. These are coming along very, very nicely. They've got nice new root growth there and around the back as well. So they're doing lovely. That's that one. That's the unnamed one. I don't know what that is until it flowers. These are the Mr. Cedars that I like keeping nice and damp. This is coming up with some new growths here, and another one down here, so that's doing okay. And here's the other Mr. Cedar that I've just noticed. It's got a new root growth there and a new root growth there. So this is coming along very nicely. I'll not give them too much because I've done them already once today, and they do like to almost dry out before redoing again. Well, that's one Renanthera done. I've another two to do yet. But I'll tell you what, we'll have a look at the pH, see what's happening there. Well, let's see what the pH is on this one now. There you are, 5.65, so it has dropped properly. And I forgot to mention the thank you to all the people who put the comments on my channel. I do appreciate it. I've got plenty and plenty of advice that I always take notice of, and in some cases I use that advice in my growing of orchids. So thank you very much for all that. So until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.